The journey of an ordinary man who dared to dream differently. Let me ask you, do you remember the first time you were rejected? Maybe you applied for a job, signed up for an opportunity, or even confessed your feelings to someone you liked and got a no. How did that feel? For most of us, rejection means disappointment, maybe even shame, or losing faith in ourselves. But for Jack Ma, rejection was only the beginning. Jack Ma, born Ma Yun in 1964 in Hangzhou, China, didn't come from a well-off family, nor was he an outstanding student. He was small, struggled with math, and learned English, mostly on his own, by offering free tours to foreign tourists at a local hotel just to practice. Imagine China at that time, a country just starting to open up after decades of isolation, with fierce competition and narrow opportunities only for the smartest or the wealthiest. Jack Ma, he was a regular kid, plain and simple. One failure after another. How many times can you get up? I've often thought if being rejected once is painful, being turned down 10 times would probably break anyone. But Jack Ma set a record for the number of rejections he endured. As a student, he was weaker in math and failed the National College Entrance Exam twice, finally passing on the third try, which earned him a place at the less prestigious Hangzhou Normal University, majoring in English, the only subject he felt confident in. After graduating, Jack applied for dozens of jobs, from hotel worker to KFC security guard, even the local police. Each time, he was rejected. Here's a famous story. KFC once opened hiring in Hangzhou. Of 24 job applicants, 23 were hired. Jack was the only one rejected. Or the time he applied to be a police officer. Everyone but Jack got the job. How would you feel? Most people, after a few rounds of failure like that, would start believing they weren't cut out for success. Refusing to give up. The turning point of persistence. What made Jack Ma special wasn't that fate handed him a golden ticket, but that he simply refused to give up. In interviews, he often joked, "I got rejected so many times, I grew used to it. After a while, it just didn't hurt anymore." A lot of young people ask, have you ever been so afraid of failure that you gave up before you tried? If we really look, we'll see this. Success often goes to those who persist, even more than to those born naturally talented. Jack chose to become an English teacher because no one else would hire him. While teaching, he kept learning, grabbing every opportunity, no matter how small. He never allowed himself to give up hope. What if, one day, every opportunity were closed? Would you still put your all into the tiniest chance? A life-changing trip, discovering the internet in America. In 1995, Jack Ma traveled to the US for the first time. In Seattle, he saw a computer and experienced the internet for the first time. Something that, back then, felt like magic in China. He looked up the word beer. Millions of results appeared, brands from all around the world. Then he typed in China. Almost nothing came up. That was Jack's light bulb moment. China needs the internet. He later said, "I didn't know much about computers. I could barely type. But I had a strong instinct that the internet would change everything." Returning home, he started China Pages, a website listing Chinese businesses. No one used it. The government was skeptical. Friends shook their heads. Even his family worried. His first big project failed. Let me ask, if you're the first to see a new opportunity, but no one believes in you, do you give up or stubbornly keep going because you believe in the vision? Gathering his team, betting everything on Alibaba. Jack Ma wasn't done. He gathered 17 friends in his Hangzhou apartment and pitched a new idea. Let's build an online platform where China's small businesses can sell to the world. He named it Alibaba. Why Alibaba? Because in the old Alibaba and the 40 Thieves story, the words "open sesame" opened a treasure cave, and Jack wanted his company to open a treasure trove of opportunity for small businesses across China, and someday, the world. Back then, almost no one believed in e-commerce. No capital, no IT background, no logistics, no payment network, just a group of young people and their shared faith. Would you risk your last $2,000, the group's total startup money, on an idea that over 100 investors had already said no to? Overwhelmed by problems, no customers, no cash, no real activity. For over 2 years, Alibaba made no money and nearly went bankrupt. The team members had to act as customer service, fake buyers and sellers on their own platform to create an illusion of activity. Jack said, "There were months when we barely had money, had to cut salaries, and eat as cheaply as possible. Friends and family thought I'd lost my mind. Why not give up on something no one wanted?" But he and his team used the fear as fuel. If we give up, people will say I'm crazy. If I succeed, they'll say I'm lucky. This is the true test of patience and belief. How long can you withstand outside pressure and widespread doubt? Sailing through storms, breaking limits, putting Alibaba on the map. Jack's strategy: offer free listings for small businesses, provide exceptional service, stay optimistic, and constantly persuade others. Gradually, Alibaba attracted genuine customers and partners. The turning point came when Alibaba got funding from Goldman Sachs, then SoftBank's Masayoshi Son. The amount was modest, a few $1,000,000, but it was like a miracle to a dying cactus, just enough water to survive. From a simple website, Alibaba slowly outlasted far bigger competitors, like eBay, built Taobao and Alipay, laying the groundwork for an entire Chinese and Asian e-commerce ecosystem. Look closely and you'll see. Success often comes not from the best idea or the deepest pockets, but from the willingness to keep improving, learning, and adapting day by day. Jack Ma's unique faith and lessons. What wins Western minds is Jack's sheer energy, his willingness to dream big and honest, humorous way of speaking. He once said, "My success comes from accepting more failure and rejection than most people ever will." He's never afraid to make mistakes. In fact, he encourages his staff to try, fail, fix, repeat. He puts people ahead of tech. We believe in people, not just code, and always places customers first. Here's something fun. Jack loves music, and he's performed as Michael Jackson at Alibaba parties, spreading joy to thousands of employees. Would you dare to be different, even if people laugh, to become your best, most authentic self? The big lessons and what they mean for us. Failure doesn't define you. Rejection is a chance to learn and strengthen your resolve. Believe in your ideas after giving them logical thought, even if others don't see their potential yet. Success isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance and resilience, especially when the world doubts you. What kind of rejection are you dealing with in your own life? Is it the end, or will you make it the beginning of a new, incredible chapter? Thank you for following Jack Ma's inspiring story with me. From a man rejected time and again, to someone who rewrote the definition of success with Alibaba. If you've ever bounced back from a no, or simply want to share your own experience, leave your story below. Let's spread this motivation together. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join me as we discover more extraordinary stories from ordinary people around the world. Remember, sometimes the door closed today is really the universe encouraging you to find your own unique path tomorrow. Wishing you courage and success on your own journey.